Please excuse my probably mediocre attitude and constant cynicism while I make this video. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that I feel like leading things up like this because I want to have I want to say some things. I want them to land right. And there's already a ton of people on this planet claiming to be angels and especially claiming to be Lucifer. This isn't new. Probably a lot more behind the scenes than there are on the internet. So I kind of want to leave that out, even though I can kind of just leave what I said in there. Um, I could just lead up by saying that I've had quite a few past life regressions. That I've dedicated my entire life to it, actually, and not just this life, but the life before that and the life before that, and possibly a few more going back. And what I'm doing, what a lot of spiritual people talk about in terms of like, oh, well, this is what makes me special, this is what I do, so on. Not actually new or normal or abnormal things at all. They're pretty much regular in terms of, the actual universe. And it seems that we've developed this sort of lifestyle around a certain set of things. Things like, consciousness, eating and drinking, and feeling. There's a lot of talk already in, again, spirituality and science about evolution and where things have sort of conglomerated. And I used to do this a lot. I used to come through my lifetimes and I would make updates and videos about the universe and the programming. It's like, oh yeah, well, we've developed this thing and that thing. We have atoms, we have neutrinos, and we have these particles and molecules and so on, but we still don't have completed systems for consciousness and conscientiousness and, morality. It seems like in a way, actually, good and evil seem to be processed, but still very hidden. And in a way, it's kind of like when you learn something you didn't want to know. Something so concrete and foundational that because I could just throw it out there that good things become evil things become good things become evil things, and evil things become good things, and then they become evil things, and then they become good things, and that's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works, because if you polarize yourself to one state, that state will only remain worth it. You'll only feel something up to a certain point, and then unless you swing back for some contrast, you won't feel anything anymore. So that polarized state, the relativity will fade, and you won't be polarized. I think that's actually a pretty good trick, too, for anyone wondering about, like, how do I get myself out of this horribly negative state? Just swing over and then stop giving a shit. And then that becomes your middle. Same thing with, like, oh, how do I get off of this bottom of my life? Well, find it and then raise it. But make sure that it's your bottom you're raising and not your state of mind. Because your state of mind is how you see yourself and how you act. Your bottom is different. It's part of your, you could call it geometry. I don't know. But it's something you can actually raise up. And there's a reason why people tell each other that there's no bottom out here. There's no bottom to this. There's no place that you can concretely land that you're going to just have nowhere to go but up from. It doesn't exist. And as you can clearly see, I'm not exactly like elated. Oftentimes just look like an asshole. And I'm kind of making this video to put myself out into the world because I'm personally, I'm tired of it. It's like, it's one of those things where people speak on stuff that they only know a small portion about. And even at that, what they're saying is inaccurate for many, if not most, of the context in which it's placed. It's like you put some shit out on the internet, and 1% of the people understand what you're talking about with the dragons and the oh, there's this African god, and this is the name, and this is what it's saying to you, and blah, 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 blah. Like, 99% of the people are going to take that a different way. That's not for them, it's for somebody else, it's for one person. So I'm mad. I'm fucking mad. I'm out here like everybody else, suffering from the disease of madness, which is, you know, actually ironically the reason why I'm making it, because I want to find a way out. Like everybody else, I want to find a way out of my madness. And you know, we've developed all kinds of short-term solutions. People are doing things like getting on the internet and telling their stories and going into therapy and all sorts of things. And I've been going through all of this since I was really little. I was born the umbilical cord around my neck. I was born choking. I nearly lost my life to a fever when I was young. I got all just horrible interactions with people. So I'm like the rest, I'm like everybody else, and this is one of the old messages from other universes, not some new shit. This isn't a new universal message, that everybody's going through the same crap because we're all in the same boat and we all walk in the footsteps of God. And what that means, a lot of people think that means some bullshit. They just can't seem to wrap their mind around the idea that the universe actually did start and it will never end. Because it's infinite. Because there's no possibility in infinite possibility that isn't possible. So God and what God is that. God is the universe. God is the journey of creation. God is evolution. God is time. Time can't be stopped. You can only get so far away from one thing to make it look like it's inconsequential. And then you'll argue that you fucking escaped time, but you have not escaped time, you just went to a higher universe. And at that, a second at the higher universe is a billion years in this one. So why would you ever endeavor to do something like that when there's shit that's important and it's going on right here? I want to come out and say some shit because I'm hella mad. I'm hella mad about people like Elon Musk walking around this fucking planet talking about we're going to escape the simulation. Is he going to bring everybody all the way to that fucking point so that they can find out that they're just stepping into another simulation because everything is a computer? Because it's like the universe evolves over and over and over again. And then it can fold in on itself like a heartbeat. And anything can do that. It doesn't need to work this way, but it does because it wants to, because it actually put in the time to go through every possibility and then focus on the one thing that seemed to work best for it so that it could keep going. Isn't that amazing? It's actually evolution. That literally is evolution. And that is what the universe is. That's what it's fucking doing, and that's why it's called particle evolution. And all of this, these billions of years of things changing in the universe, it's a fucking fractal record of every other universe that ever existed. Because history literally repeats itself, but the same thing never happens twice. Because you can't actually find the end. I've been accused of all kinds of crap, and you know what? The only reason I ever subjected myself to madness willingly was so that I could actually become concrete and solid in the multiverse. Because madness is just correlative to the feeling of clarity and certainty, no confusion. And if I'm gonna pass on any message, it's gonna be that we really are in the same boat, and we are all suffering from madness. Madness. Madness, as in you cannot understand what is going on in the universe because you are too caught up in your emotions. Thinking that your emotions matter more than you do. Putting emotions over yourself and others and evolution and time. You hear this shit? I was the one who fucking did it first, talking about, oh, we're gonna escape time. Oh, we're gonna escape creation and go to the real universe. Fucking for what? For what level of anxiety would anybody ever think this stuff? Other than having an emotion so strong that you give it more importance than everything you've ever experienced, and suddenly it controls everything you think. And me, I'm up to this point where it's like, I keep allowing myself to just react because I wonder, like, am I not exercising my intelligence if I don't allow this emotion to play itself out and take control of me? Fuck that. Because it does, it feels callous. It's like, I see everything as alive. If I come upon any kind of process, any feature, facet that arises and wants to exist, so at that, one of the other messages I would like to send is that there's no solving anything. We're only going to get this dichotomy of madness. We're only going to be able to shave it down to an infinitely fine sort of feature so that it doesn't affect us anymore. But you can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of anything. Motherfuckers try to get rid of me. I'm sure there's a number of souls on this planet right now who experience something similar. But all that happens is you get stuffed more and more finely into a little pocket, a little tiny, fine fucking pocket. You're like a tiny little handkerchief going into a fucking black hole. So what I'm saying is you can't actually get rid of yourself. You can't actually die. You can't actually get rid of yourself. You can't get rid of your perception. Who you think you are has nothing to do with perception. You don't need a brain. Like, check it out, dude. Fucking plasma balls fall out of a fucking cloud. This is real shit. Plasma balls fall out of a cloud and, like, float around the fucking house. Like, going a little bit this way and then turning, going through a wall, and then, oh, let me check this out. Oh, what's that? What's the deal? What's the deal with the shit, with the fucking behavior in the universe if it's really just about your brain? The brain is a huge computer. It's a measuring device. Many things, why would most living things even need the measuring device? When all they're doing is picking up a little bit of information from here and throwing it over there. Yeah, humans are different. I do agree with that. But not in this, like, extra special way, like we've been removed. No, nothing else is likened unto us. It never worked that way. Nothing is likened unto God because God is everything. And as for us, as for the people on this planet, this is all an illusion. This is all just a screen, a smoke screen, a vacuum energy, a sheet of reality, animating itself. Sure, in logical ways. But it's still a fucking dream. We should all be grateful that our dream makes a bit of sense. Because I remember that it didn't used to. It actually didn't used to make much sense.